Okay, so hello everybody and good morning. My name is Stephen Alpasatya, and today I'm going to discuss with you guys my research topic of HR management based with the title of Enhancing Company Productivity Through Employee Engagement, the role of training and work environment in Indonesia's evolving workforce. So, first of all, the research background of this and the urgency of it is needed because according to the Ministry of Trade in 2023, they quoted that the domestic gold transactions have risen by 7% annually over the last 5 years. However, there's some occurring operational challenges, particularly those tied to employee readiness and technology adoption. Remains a challenge for business to maintain their competitiveness. Sumber Ore Gold Store, a family-owned jewelry shop in Surabaya, exemplifies these challenges. Despite operating for 40 years or more, it still struggles with stagnant growth marked by increased customer service time, low employee retention, and outdated operational systems. For example, manual inventory management. And my interview with management have revealed that employees often feel dissatisfied with the current work system, leading to lower productivity among the company and higher turnover rate. Furthermore, the store lacks structured training programs, which leads to uh, which are proven to improve productivity by up to 15% in the industry, quoted by Smith and Johnson in 2022. This gap between industry progress and Super URIP's performance highlights an urgent need to investigate the relationship between employee training, work environment, employee engagement, and their contribution to the dependent variable, which is company productivity. Moving on. So, what should we ask while we do this research? The first thing is, does employee training have a significant effect on employee engagement? Second, does work environment have a significant effect on employee engagement? Thirdly, does employee engagement have a significant effect on company productivity? Four, does employee training have a significant effect on company productivity through employee engagement? And five, the last, does a work environment have a significant effect on company productivity through employee engagement? So what I'm trying to accomplish in this research is first to determine the effect of employee training on employee engagement. Two, to determine the effect of work environment on employee engagement. Three, to determine the effect of employee engagement on company productivity. Four, to determine the effect of employee training on company productivity through the mediation of employee engagement. Five, and last is to determine the effect of work environment on company productivity through employee engagement. So moving on to the research scope. So the scope of this study and thesis proposal is limited to analyzing the operational effectiveness of Sumber Urip Gold Shop in Surabaya and Tuban, which focuses on one, the effects of employee training and work environment on the company productivity with the mediating variable employee engagement. Two, data collection is limited to employees who have worked at Sumber Urip Gold Shop for at least 6 months, and the store management involved in daily operations. Third condition at last, the study uses a quantitative approach like the approach suggested by Ms. Gracia, with questionnaires and in-depth interviews as supporting data. So there are a few criteria, but I'm using the criteria of resource-based view or RBV for this thesis proposal, which argues that internal sources, if valuable, rare, inimitable, and non-substitutable, provide organizations with a sustainable competitive advantage, like as quoted by Barney in 1991. And in this research, the internal sources resources examined are employee training, work environment, and employee engagement. And according to RBV, these resources shape employee performance and overall company productivity, making them strategic drivers of operational effectiveness in the gold jewelry industry. And the evolution you can see here uh, in the foundational stage and the refinement stage. Now, moving on to the variable definition indicators. The employee training means that it is a structured activity designed to improve employee skills, knowledge, and competencies to perform their job. And there's four indicators: training relevance, which means the extent to which training materials and content are directly related to employees' job responsibilities and tasks. Two is clarity, which means how easily employees understand and absorb the training materials and concepts presented to them by the company. Third is frequency, which means the regularity with which training sessions are conducted to maintain and develop employee competencies. And fourth and last is effectiveness, which is the degree to which training leads to improvements in employees' work performance and productivity. Moving on to the second variable is work environment. So the physical and psychological conditions of the workplace, including the safety, support, and available resources, which is cited from Rabil et al. 2021 and Liu 2016. So the indicators are physical comfort, which means the level of physical comfort in the workspace, such as temperature, noise levels, lighting, and workspace ergonomics. Two is supportiveness, which means the degree to which colleagues and supervisors provides assistance, encouragement, and collaborations. The third is safety, which means employees' sense of protection from physical hazards and unsafe conditions in the workplace. Four is facilities, which means the adequacy and availability of physical resources, and tools provided by the company to support work tasks. The third is the employee engagement, which means it is a positive, fulfilling, work-related state of mind characterized by vigor, dedication, and absorption, which is cited by Shoffley et al. In 2006. And the indicators are one, commitment, which means the psychological attachment and loyalty an employee feels towards the company and their willingness to contribute to its success. Two, enthusiasm, which means the energy and eagerness that an employee shows towards their job, which is reflected in the motivation and proactive behavior. And third is job involvement, which is the extent to which an employee is mentally and emotionally invested in their job tasks and responsibilities. And the last one is just the dependent variable, which is the company productivity. So it means that the efficiency and output level of the company in achieving its goals using available resources, which is cited by STORE in 2023. It has three indicators. The first one is output quality, which means that the standard and consistency of the products of or the services product produced by the company. Second indicator is the efficiency, which means the ability of the company to produce goods or services with minimal waste, time, and cost. And the third indicator and last is innovation, which means that it is the company's capacity to develop and implement new ideas, products, or processes that improve its competitiveness. So this is my research model and hypothesis. So the model is like this. I have two independent variables, which is employee training and work environment, and one mediating variable, which is employee engagement, which contributes to the dependable variable of company productivity. So in this hypothesis, we have six hypotheses. The first one is, does employee training have a significant effect on employee engagement? Second, does work environment have a significant effect on employee engagement? Third, does work environment have a significant effect on company productivity? Four, does employee training have a significant effect on company productivity? Five, does work environment have a significant effect on company productivity through employee engagement? And six, the last, is does employee training have a significant effect on company productivity through employee engagement? Moving on. So this is the research design. So this study uses a quantitative approach, conducting regression analysis to find out the links between training for employees, the leadership style, the how involved they are, and a firm's productivity. The research would ask employees in the formal manufacturing sector, such as those working in the jewelry companies, such as Sumber Urip in Tuban or Surabaya, to fill out questionnaires. While focusing on understanding the relationships among variables, the study also makes use of questionnaires to report on the present levels of these variables among those surveyed. A good example is using questionnaires to get information of how training often happens, the kind of leadership exhibited, and how engaged the staff reports, being all of which give a detailed outline of these factors in the organization. And descriptions of these variables in the survey allows the team to conduct detailed analysis that reveals patterns of change and establish an improved grasp of the factors that shape the company's productivity. So the definition of population sample is population refers to a generalization region consisting of objects or subjects with certain qualities and characteristics determined by the researcher to be studied and then drawn conclusions. Meanwhile, a sample is a portion of the population that is selected using a certain techniques to represent the entire population. So in this research, the population comprises employees working in the family business sector in Indonesia. This group is selected because it significantly contributes to national productivity and aligns with the study's focus on workforce engagement and performance. So the population sample and sample usage description is the population will be the all employees working at Sumber Coffee Shop, a family business operating in jewelry industry in Surabaya and Tuban. And this population is chosen because of its relevance and to the study's focus on improving operational effectiveness through human resource management. And the sample uses a purposive sampling technique, which has a criteria, which is full-time employees at Super Workshop, minimum work experience of 6 months, like I mentioned earlier, and the last one is direct involvement in the company's productivity processes in operations, quality control, and production, etc. So based on the Lemaitre formula, which I use, I would at least need a minimum of 96 respondents for this research. And this is my data analysis method. So multiple regression analysis is the method that I will use in the fourth chapter if I would ever to conduct the thesis to determine the influence of independent variables, employee training and work environment, and the mediating variable, which is employee engagement on the dependent variable of company productivity. And you can see here the regression model in SPSS, which has the what is it, formula such as this. Now, this is the questionnaires table that I will use for my Google form questionnaires. And you can see here there are some indicators there and their question for each indicators. And lastly, I thank you all for listening to my presentation, and God bless you all.